My culture. Who am I in context? This presentation is about exploring my cultural and personal identity. Britain. I am British, an important part of my identity. I like fish and chips and bangers and mash, but I'm not really a fan of steak and kidney pie. I don't like football or the royal family, or even the British weather. However, I do like complaining about the things I don't like. This makes me undeniably British. My ideology is that the country defines the culture, and the culture defines the society. However, I contradict myself, as I have tried to distance myself from the young culture that Britain has adopted. And I even had some trouble with a couple of so-called chavs the other day. British people have been stereotyped by the rest of the world, as have we to them. According to those who live outside of the UK, we are either Cockney-speaking Londoners or upper-class individuals who hunt and own stately homes. I am neither, although I do try to articulate my speech so that I sound intelligent, and I do miss a lot of T's in my speech. So these stereotypes have some truths. I act differently in different situations, as does everyone. If I am angry, I will shout, swear, or do both simultaneously. If I am happy, I will be pleasant to the people I know and will smile. If I am sad, I will draw back and become quiet. These are things connected with my identity by the people who I am acquainted with. At least for anger and sadness, I react in these ways to get the reactions I want from those around me. When I'm angry, I want the person I am opposing to feel threatened and back down, which unfortunately is not always the case. It is instinctive to act this way when threatened. When I'm sad, I desire sympathy and attention because I want people to make me feel better. This is part of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, with needs coming first and wants coming second, although in some situations needs and wants can be reprioritised. Everything I do is instrumental to me. Even the things I do out of supposed goodwill are done to give me a feeling of righteousness, such as giving money to charity. My actions are relevant to my roles. I do things to fulfil my role at that time, a Goffman theory. However, my cultural boundaries affect these. British society dictates that you cannot do certain things. You cannot hug random strangers in the street. That's certainly frowned upon. We are in a time of huge technological development, and as a child of the 90s, I have most definitely been affected by this. I spend a lot of time on the computer, and I'm willing to spend over £500 on a laptop very soon. This just goes to show the influence the computer age has had on me and the world. Wikipedia states that Bill Gates, the creator and ex-top man of Microsoft, is ranked consistently as one of the world's wealthiest individuals, and in March 2009 he was shown to have been the wealthiest person overall. Quite an achievement for a computer nerd. But this is another sign of what value is measured. This is another sign that value is measured by money, which is an obvious effect of my era. My culture now almost demands that everyone purchases a mobile phone, a piece of advice I've willingly heeded. You are expected to understand the workings of a computer, and knowing how to set up a website is no longer considered uncool, which was definitely the case a few years ago. I need to represent myself as someone who understands these elements, because if I don't, I will be seen as someone with little worth. All the previous slides in this presentation have really been building up to the important question of who am I? By name I am Anthony Collins. I'm a son, a brother, a grandson, a nephew, a cousin, a friend and a student at Kingston College. I like to believe I'm fairly good at each of these roles. Roles, once again, is not a Irving Goffman theory, though being good at these roles is debatable. In society, as a student, I am on a lower rung of the hierarchy due to the fact that I am, as I've already said, a student, and I am therefore not considered a hugely relevant part of my society. However, my mother thinks the world of me, so in her eyes I'm immensely important. Perspective is everything in the sense of value, which is not necessarily money measured. Society is a group term, and as such, polysemy, group perception, is much more relevant. Considering this, my place in society as a lowly student My value among society can be measured by what I contribute. I do not work paid or voluntary. My contribution is minimal. The reason I feel the way I do about my state is because of the dominant hegemony, which is created by the ruling elite. They convince us that we should live and feel a certain way, be the influence from advertisements, education, media, or law. This is a very generalised view. I have the power to upset, impress, enrage. I am important to a few individual lives, which is part of my self-representation. I have the power to do these things, therefore I am relevant. The end, obviously.